standing on the ECU campus in Greenville, North Carolina, where a potential new law might help create a new generation of kids who are actually ready for college. In the past few years, college students' academic performance has been decreasing significantly. This could be predicted since high school students' SAT and ACT scores in all 4 core subjects are at a 32-year low. Thus, most college students are not ready for the academic rigors of college. Contributing to the problem is social media. Studies show that significant social media usage is linked to lower grades. There could be many reasons for this. For one, social media is addictive. Adolescents may get on Instagram just to post a quick message, but then something else catches their eye. People easily spend much more time than they intend to on these platforms. This can lead to less time being spent on homework and less sleep. And a tired person's work will never be top notch. Social media does not just affect academic performance. Recently, the outgoing United States Surgeon General Vivek Murthy called for warning labels to be added to social media platforms to inform users of the negative mental health risks associated with social media usage. He worries that social media will cause the current mental health crisis among young people to worsen. So, not only has he asked the U.S. Congress to pass a law putting warning labels on social media, he has issued an advisory on this issue to increase public awareness. In that advisory, he recommends many companies, researchers, parents, and even adolescents to take specific action to combat this mental health crisis. However, is this crisis really as bad as Dr. Murthy wants us to believe? First, let's look at his reasons for issuing this advisory and calling for warning labels on social media platforms. The Surgeon General believes social media is an important contributor to the current mental health crisis among adolescents. Most scientists believe that a person's brain is not fully developed until the age of 25. This means that what a 15-year-old sees will influence that student much more than what a 30-year-old. And the more time spent on social media platforms, the more influence these platforms could have. Currently, adolescents average around 4.8 hours a day on social media. Kids who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media experience more than double the rates of depression and anxiety than kids who spend less time on these platforms. In addition, studies show that the more social media usage is associated with less sleep, low self-esteem, and a negative body image. Research says that texts, posts, and cyberbullying frequently delivered through social media can decrease kids' self-confidence and have even led to some kids to commit suicide. Social media is designed to maximize users' time on the platforms, and it does that job quite well. However, if one limits social media, would one see the opposite of these negative trends? In a small study, that is exactly what happened. Limiting social media led to better life quality with a decrease in depression. However, this is just one study. More research needs to be done on the effects of social media on kids. These platforms were designed for adults. Thus, the negative effects on young people could be endless. For all these reasons and more, the Surgeon General calls for a safety-first approach to social media. He says that many toys must go through third-party testing before being released to the public, and social media is potentially more dangerous than toys, so it needs the same approach. Thus, he wants congressional approval to add warning labels to social media. However, will a warning label or an advisory really make all that much difference in this problem? The Surgeon General's reasoning is convincing. There is a social media problem among young people that is contributing to negative mental health. He has done his research and made a strong case. But if warning labels do eventually get added to social media platforms, what difference will it make? People will read the warnings when they are new, but after that, they will likely ignore them. In general, many people already know that social media can contribute to negative mental health. The news states this in different ways on a regular basis. All the Surgeon General can do is make recommendations. More needs to be done. But what can be done? Social media companies already ban kids under 13 from signing up for social media, but these kids frequently ignore this ban and still use social media even without parents' consent. TikTok set a 60-minute time limit for minors, but they just re-enter a password at the end of the hour and continue using the site. Plus, some people argue that a warning label on social media websites violates people's right of free speech. The number of hours teens are on social media has been increasing despite efforts to the contrary. Clearly, social media has adverse physical and mental health effects and can also negatively affect academic performance. Something must be done. While the Surgeon General's efforts are admirable, they are thus far not improving the situation. A warning label will probably be ignored for the most part, but it will not cost much money to implement, and it will not cause any harm. Thus, adding a warning label to social media may be the best thing to be done. Only time will tell. I'm Ann Elder, reporting from the East Carolina University